Blake Production.
What is poppin'? So here we're gonna go over Tesla stock. This one is a great name. I love this name. Shout out to Lucas Blake, my brother. He's holding some shares of this at a pretty price. He's probably got a bunch now after the double split. So Luke, if you're seeing this, don't ever fucking sell. Straight up, you're laughing. So we're gonna go over this technically, right? We have a massive bounce over the month of January. Like I'm talking, this is a nice bounce, right? 100% bounce. Bunch of news comes out in the stock as well, right? They're probably going to be getting into AI, all this new solar technology stuff. They're getting into Bitcoin mining, etc. All this stuff. It's bullish, super bullish. So with positive momentum, with demand, with news, you get a nice pump. But it's interesting because we run right into a major zone here on Tesla, right? So I'm just going to mark this out right here. And if you look, this was our demand zone the entirety of like 2020, 2021. We'd come back into this zone. 2022, come back into this zone, and it would bounce. Now it's resistance, right? So previous support turns into resistance. And I'd like to point this out here. So I'm going to try to start incorporating this more into my videos from an educational perspective. But here we have a evening star pattern. Now, an evening star candlestick pattern indicates a reversal, right? So it indicates that there's lower prices to come, right? So, and keep in mind, I note here, the overall trend and volume play a huge role. These patterns are indications, but they're never certain, right? So let's say that this is going to indicate that we're going lower. Well, where could we potentially go, right? That's key to find out. We have a gap here on the chart, right? This gap that was left behind at the middle of January, right? Or 25th of January. That could be a zone where, you know, if the next few weeks, the rest of February, maybe early March is bearish, and the rest of the market wants to correct, we could come back and test that zone. Would that be too scary? No, not necessarily. I'd consider it a buy the dip opportunity, because here we have this huge move to the upside. Now we need to just create a higher low. That's all it is. So if you're looking, right, to get into Tesla, that could be a potential opportunity for you. Another area I would look at, just in case we don't go that low, right? This 167 range. That was an area where we pivoted at, where it looks to be like we could potentially have some support. That's also a high point that we hit in 2020. So we could move this out over here, and it lines up quite perfectly, right? So these are just areas that I want to pay attention to on Tesla stock, right? Because my thesis is, right, the next year, maybe 2 years, who knows how this market's going to react. It's going to pretty much go sideways, right? It's going to give us a bunch of opportunity to buy. And if you're the type of person who understands the charts, you're the type of person who could remove your emotions from investing, you could use these next couple of years to collect shares of stocks that you have conviction in, and then pretty much be laughing in the long term. So that's a plan that I want to do, right? I want to use this trading environment to collect shares and create positional trades on stocks that I have and coins that I have conviction in. Tesla's one of them. So this is something I'm actually excited for. Another thing that I want to start testing in 2023, I want to start playing both sides of the trade, because this here was so evident to me, but I didn't play to the downside. So I really want to see and test my trading abilities to the downside as well. And if this market environment continues to play the way it is, then buying calls around this area or shares at this area could be a good idea. So that's the breakdown. Peace, guys.